Hello.
Is anybody on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I did it wrong. But I don't get the Zoom part of it. I can't see anyone. It's just the phone recording, which, talking on the phone, which is fine. But
Yeah, do you have a camera on your computer? I would gather you do.
no, I have it on my phone. It's just, I didn't notice the Zoom, invitation. I just noticed it was, just join from the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a link above that is the Zoom link where you could actually, if you're on your computer or if you download the app on your phone.
I have the app on my phone. This is just the iCalendar thing, it says. Because it's not going on to it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. At least I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to print out these bars manuals, and anyway, I have a headache.
Well,
so I don't want to do anything more technical. Sorry.
Yeah, we see you in spirit. I see you.
See me. Yes, I feel that way. Thank you.
So we're just going to give everybody another minute. I know Heather said she was still at a photo shoot, so she's not going to be able to hop on. And I think we're just waiting on Melody, Deborah, and Janet. And Crystal, if she's coming on. Let's see if I've got any messages here.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Annette, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Thanks for your message.
Oh, you're welcome.
So you guys had a swap before?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Great. Yeah, Deborah. Let me see where Deborah is. Because she sent me some messages. She's had some really cool things show up. Let me just see. I'll try her on text here. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Okay, and I'll send Janet a quick. Oh, there she is. Hey, Deborah, I was just texting you. Hold on, I can't hear you. I gotta unmute you. Gotcha. Okay.
Hello, Carol.
Hey, Deborah, how are you?
Phenomenal.
Cool. Well, I think this is us. We're just waiting on Melody and Janet and possibly Crystal. Let me see. I'm just going to shoot Janet a quick reminder. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and dive in with all the beautiful people on the call. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so what I know I had a couple of sessions with people this week. We had a lot of stuff that got either or ahas or, oh, here we go. Let's see. Is this
Melody?
Hey. Hey, Melody. I was just saying that this week has kicked up in a lot of ways for pretty much everybody. It's, oh, look at that magic. It's the ahas. It's the you know, for just about everybody. Lots of words that start with A, let's just say. And, you know, when we take that A and we put the M in front of it and make it magic, that's what I'm so excited, because that's what everybody's starting to do. Yay! So it's funny that the theme of the call, and so I'm not sure how long we're gonna go tonight. We're gonna go as long as required. I know we kind of ended up going 2 hours, and I know that's a lot of time. But go with your energy on that, just go with if it's light for you to stay on, if you need to go back and listen to it. I know when I've been on calls like this, I have to go back and kind of listen. And every time I listen, I hear something different. And the good news is we're pretty much there on the membership page where all the calls are loaded, all the information's loaded, like the different resources that you can go to or will be loaded. So keep an eye out. It'll probably be the next couple of days. You'll get an email with passwords and stuff. So, and you can go on there as long, look at whatever you want as many times as you want. So have at it with your unimaginable futures. So how does it get any better than this? This week, we're going to be talking about the vulnerability of receiving. Right. Why do I say vulnerability? Because a lot of us have been in many lifetimes where receiving was getting killed, or receiving was something that wasn't as fun as we would like it to be in this reality. So a lot of times what I've found, and including my life, is that I had a tough time receiving because I received a lot of not so fun things in other lifetimes. So whatever we've defined as receiving, can we let that go now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And what's cool is that even though sometimes you don't define it as an aha or it might come in as a pissiness, or it might come in a
Yes.
Yes. The cool thing is that you're catching that.
Mm-hmm.
You're catching it, and you're kind of going, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is kind of what I always showed, like the energy. I know who you are. Like, oh, there's that energy again. There's that energy again. And you know what? Fuck that shit. Or, how can I create beyond this? Or, you know what? Thank you for showing yourself to me. And now I can just do whatever I would like to, whatever that is for you. Flush it down the toilet, kick it out the door, be a Wonder Woman high drop kick out of your life, whatever that could be fun for you, because it's just an energy. And we don't have to take it on. And that's why I wanted you all to play so much in the energies every day. The energies of what you would like your life to be, versus, because any change that we're going to have that comes into our life is an energy. Anything that shows up has an energy. And then we have an energy. And as we know, like we cognitively know, what I'm asking for, I'll have to match energetically. Like where can I do an energy match to that $1 million I'm asking for? Where could I do an energy match to that? Ask that question and see what comes up. And if there's a heaviness there, then, that would be oh, there you are again. Okay, cool. Thank you for showing me that you're there, and I release you now. Could be that easy. But I know we like to make it hard, so we can think of 200 more steps to add to that if you would like.
Let's not.
Let's not and say we did. I like it. We won't. So for tonight's call, again, we'll just go as long as is required to shift the energies on this here. And I know most of you probably played with this a little bit this week. It's the vulnerability, almost like where we just fall into the energy. If you kind of get that energy and you get that visual, like, even on something that we don't want to look at. What if we just fell into it?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard somebody say, you know, how did you become an accountant? How did you become a this? How did you become a that? Oh, I just kind of fell into it. Have you heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Have you said that before? Like, I kind of feel like that about my life. I just kind of fell into. And the whole scheme of things, there's a part of that that's really the vulnerability. It's that you're willing to just be the energy no matter how it shows up. And you're willing to do that energy match. And you're willing to put those barriers down for all of this. Just kind of if we've been in a relationship for a while, whether we've been married or just boyfriend or girl, whatever that is, when you're in a relationship, you have to go to a certain level of vulnerability to be able to receive the next. I call them the next levels, but it's just simply a different, more expansive energy. Because really, is there any other level other than the level we are at? There's infinite possibilities, but is that necessarily a level? I think sometimes level, even that word seems a little bit heavy to me. And you always hear people all the time going, oh, I want to go to the next level. Well, what does that really mean? It really, if you're an infinite being, are you really on any levels? Or are you on all levels?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So where can you, if you're catching yourself and doing the fuck that shit and then putting your barriers down and then just receiving how anything shows up no matter what. No matter what. What if you didn't have to put a significance on how something needed to show up? What if money could come to you in whatever way it's going to come to you? What if, you know, really, whatever that is for you, relationship, business, whatever. So some of the questions that we shared and talked about on this week were, where can I be vulnerable today? Now, did that kick up anything for anybody? Did you have a certain point of view about what vulnerability meant, or that, oh, if I'm vulnerable, I'm going to be like the small little kitten out in the woods with the bears and, you know?
No, to me, it was really kind of a freeing thing.
Okay, cool.
That's how it felt to me. Like when I read the questions, I'm like, that is a great word. And so, I don't know, it felt good for me.
Cool.
It felt like, okay, here's the opportunity. It wasn't
weakness. It wasn't.
No, it was not at all.
Yeah, because in this reality, we've kind of bastardized the definition of vulnerability to being like the weaker, like she's vulnerable to whatever. Right. But really, vulnerability is the opening of possibilities.
Right. It's a very powerful word. When
you
think of what it really truly means. And you're right, it's not weakness at all. To me, it's the exact opposite of it. Yeah. Because if you're able to be vulnerable, you are a lot more powerful than you realize. And it's not about power. It's just very powerful.
You're simply showing up in the energy of you.
Right. So I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just having reading, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, no, I've not done that I shouldn't say I've not done it. I've not been cognizant doing it. It's like, but let me work in that space of that.
Yeah.
And see where that goes.
So you're showing up and if you've ever, if I think most of you have seen Wonder Woman, the movie, the latest one that came out last year. There's an aspect when they're trying to dress her like everybody else that she's kind of like, you know, she's looking at everybody and wondering why they're not like getting who she is already, you know, but she's vulnerable enough to know that that's the avenue she's got to go down a little bit in order to not fit into anything, but also just still be able to be in her power, but within the context of what they could receive.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't downing anything. It wasn't downplaying anything. It wasn't going into somebody else's reality. It was simply like, oh, okay, this is this. And that's kind of what you guys have been doing over the last week. Like, oh, okay. This is where I might be going into this reality on this. This is might be where I'm in somebody else's reality about this. This might be where I might not, I'm actually making myself smaller rather than just rising up to me. So, so basically, like, where could you receive all, not only that you are, but that's out there for you? And then what would you define as vulnerable? We already talked a little bit about that. Is there anybody that would define vulnerable in any other way in the energy that you be, or no?
I just put down open to all of life coming to and through me with ease and joy and glory, no barriers.
Yeah. And Gary puts it in that way, and I think it's Foundation, where he says it's almost like being the open source, which I don't necessarily like that analogy.
I don't
It
either.
makes me go to hurt. Like,
yeah,
we almost
exactly.
feel like we have to hurt. And what if it's not that at all? Like, I don't need to hurt just to be the vulnerability that I be.
No, we don't. I agree.
Yeah, so I don't, and I know he kind of quantifies it, but to me, like, as soon as he said open wound, I was like, oh, just like, it made me think of times that I got cut, or like today I ripped my finger, and it's like, no. So the other question was, where can I receive more of me today? Is there anybody?
Can I go back to the vulnerability real quick? Can I say, because even the Latin word, like, it's Latin for vulnus, which is the wound. And for me, I guess I just feel like it does open up stuff. Like, it seems like there might be another retirement next year and I'll have to take it. And either, like you said, I can be open to possibilities, or I can be like, oh my God, I'm 55 now. I'm too old. I'm not going to even get it. I'm going to have to work at Walmart now. And it's just like, so it depends, it just depends which way I choose to go.
Well, and I ran into a Walmart greeter today who was just lovely.
I know I could make the best of it. So.
Oh my God.
So what if you had to be the Walmart greeter?
If I had to be, I'd make the most out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you do what you have to do. If that means working at Walmart, you work at Walmart. I mean, if it means, working at Pancake House, you work at Pancake House. You do what you need to do so you can do what you need to do.
Yeah, it's just, and it's not even actually like having to do that. It's just being willing to choose it, like, it's choosing the energy of that. Even if you're not going to, it's choosing the energy of that. So it's almost like, I think I was in a class a couple years ago where they were saying, you got to be willing to go, even if you have to go put on the short skirt and go stand on the street corner. Are you willing to go? Are you willing to receive any energy? Any energy. When you're willing to receive any energy, anything can come to you with ease.
Thank you. Because I guess what started it, I was pretty positive of all the possibilities until this one friend of mine was like, oh, a woman after 55 has so much trouble. And it just got me so upset. But I am the type that, my sister worked at Waffle House for a while and people saw her, and then she got a better job. It's like, I just believe go out there and start working and something else will happen. So I am open to it all, but that makes it even, I get it now. It's just in the vulnerability, being open to all possibilities and not making judgments or even judgments about age and all of that. I just feel so discriminated now all of a sudden.
Yeah, whose reality are you buying? Is that your reality?
Well, it wasn't until recently, but yeah, I don't want to buy it. It doesn't
But
really make me feel very good.
I think life does end after 55, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm only halfway through my life, as I feel like. Yeah, I feel like I have so much more to go. I'm older than you, Carol, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, I never.
If life ends after 55, am I real?
I don't think you're real, Deborah.
That's true. I agree with that. We talked about that. She's magic.
She is
magical.
Yeah.
Anybody that's on this call is magic. I'm just going to say that.
There you go. That's right.
Again, this isn't for sissies. I don't deal with sissies. Although I appreciate those.
That's the thing about the being willing to be anything. I want to say, I want to be magic. I don't want to have to. It feels like settling for less than my magical self if I take a job that I don't think will make me happy. But that's me.
Well, there's a part of that is judgment of whatever shows up. Like, it's kind of like what Christine was saying. Her sister went to go work at Waffle House for a little while, but she met somebody that then got her a job somewhere else. Like, it's being willing to, and if this helps you with the picture of that, it's if you go to, say you go walk to a Starbucks, and there's a dirty bum right out in front of the door, and he's engaging you in a conversation. He's engaging your energy. Are you willing to say, yes, I will have sex with you. Thank you for being to anybody, anything, anytime?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, because there was a woman that I know that she went to a Starbucks. There was a bum outside. They had a really cool exchange of energy. She did the, yes, I will have sex with you, thank you for being, because she's willing to do that to anybody and anything. And he went in and bought her a cup of coffee.
Wow.
So where are we squashing down any possibility when we have a point of view of how it has to show up? I mean, if I've got to clean the toilet, I'm going to just go clean the damn toilet. I mean, where I was raised, I had to clean a toilet before I went anywhere anyway. Like, I always had to clean the bathroom. And that used to be, like, before Access, it used to be the thing that I hated the most was cleaning the bathroom, because that's what I had to do to leave the house. And before I left the house, go anywhere, I had to clean the damn bathroom. Well, did I have a point of view about it after a while if it was just the automatic thing that I had to do? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's some tweaking I will do in my thoughts, and not my thoughts, my energy. It's tweaking the energy of what that means to, and the judgment. So, yeah.
You're not being a superior bitch, are you?
Never.
I've never been one of those either, so on this call. So we'll just release that for whoever might be being a superior bitch somewhere in the world. Yeah, it's not even about levels. It's not even about points of view. It's not even about like and that's probably why I was talking about that. I was trying to figure out why that was coming through in the beginning of the call, like levels and all that. It's like it's not even about that. It's an energy. It's being an energy. If you're asking for something to come in, it's matching the energy of that you're asking for, like VIP or exuberance or magic or any of that. It's because anything that comes up that squelches that, whatever those energies that you like your life to be, magic, whatever that is for you, anything that comes up that's heavier or anything that's stopping it is not the pure you. It's not the pure you. That's where I'm saying, like, if we didn't have to make any of that significant, if we didn't have to make the definition about it, our own self significant, I'm 55, or I'm, whatever that is, 85, whatever age. Is that just a number, or is it an energy of the person? So is your energy 55, or is it, I'm going to show up and be whatever the hell I want to be today?
Right.
I'm going to show up, and you know what? If my job lays me off, cool. Maybe I was asking for that years ago. How cool is it that I'll be paid to leave, and then, what else is possible then? It's almost like you've asked for the little hang glider to take off from the cliff, and then the hang glider shows up, and you're like, oh, somebody's got a hang glider here. What the hell? Like, I'm 55. Can I really get on this hang glider?
Do I really want to?
Do I really want to? Well, and that's the other thing. Like, do we get what we're asking for?
Right.
Really get what we're asking for?
Oh.
Yeah. So has there been anything that you've asked for, or even in the context of the energy that you would like your life to be, that has shown up over the last week, or maybe from the beginning of the class?
Yeah, I want to share something today with you guys. And this I say it happened. It came more to light today when I was over at Deborah's house. It was like, okay, it's time to truly have more fun and just play with everything.
Yeah.
And it had come up, and I've been writing it in the journal of, okay, so I want to laugh today. Because first off, I like to laugh, but lots of times I just don't, and there's no reason. It's not it's just an observation. And so I'm thinking, like, no, I want to have more fun, and I want to play in anything that I do, whether it's oils, whether it's harp, whether it's, pick anything. I walk in the park, and it's a point of view. First off, but it's like, okay, so that is this week for me is going to be, I want to laugh, I want to play, I want to have fun. And I want people in and around me that want the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's going to bring, because that's all magic to me. To me, that's a magic thing that comes through. But yeah, and I think that's where a lot of us are at. It's because there's not a whole lot of we're taking a point of view that's not a whole lot of fun in things that are either we feel we have to do, or we do need to do, or whatever.
Yeah, and where have we defined that, and how could we have fun with that? That can be a whole other thing. And there's something that's kind of coming up that I didn't think to share, but I will share it. So yesterday I went and had fun all day long. And really the day, I didn't think that it was going to be that fun, but it ended up being really, really fun. And I kept saying, oh, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And I was vulnerable with whatever showed up. And we did this Beltline thing. I did this Beltline thing with some old friends of mine yesterday. And what showed up on the way home was we got all of traffic on 85 was stopped completely. And we saw like 3 ambulances, however many fire trucks, many police cars going by, and we were like, okay, something serious went down here. What is this? Well, they finally cleared everything. They got traffic going again. And when we went by the car that actually had crashed, it probably flipped several times, and the top was off the car. I think it might have had a top before. And all you could see were the car was kind of facing the freeway, and all you could see were the 2 empty seats. And what I got was, yeah, they were having fun, but they were also being unconscious about it, and they're no longer here. Mm-hmm. And it made me look at that like any moment we could choose to leave the planet. Any moment we could choose to live, truly live, not in the way that we've always been told that we need to be serious about this stuff. And we, seriously, we got to be serious about consciousness. Because if we don't get all of this consciousness shit right, then all hell's going to break loose, right? So where are we, like, I always laugh at, because it's a Dr. Philism, and I don't, Dr. Phil's okay. That's just my interesting point of view. But I love his statement where he says, we're burning daylight. We're burning daylight on these energies that simply aren't a contribution to our life. And where could we actually turn the light on daylight to all the possibilities of what our life is to be? I remember I was telling my dad when he was really ill and in the hospital, and I said, my friend's sister died today. And he said, oh, how did she die? And I said, well, basically she drank herself to death. And he said, well, that sounds like kind of fun. It's like, obviously, it was her choice, and maybe it's like in his mind in that day, like he was having a bad day. It was like maybe just choosing unawareness might be better. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, we're all going to be releasing these physical bodies within this time frame and this reality sometime. We will move on as infinite beings to whatever is next. But how can we, and I didn't mean to get morbid with it all, it's just shifting the energies of going to that heavy energy in your day. That's why I use the fuck that shit. It's like, I don't want to spend my time in that space. It's just not worth my time to be there. I love that the universe always shows us when our energy is not congruent with what we're asking. And a lot of times it's just the tiniest little tweak. It's choosing that more joy. It's not defining how money comes in. It's not defining how that joy needs to come in. It's not defining how anything really needs to show up. Now, next week, we'll talk more about targeting down a little further these energies that we're playing with, but I wanted you to have as much time as possible in the play of the energies, because when was the last time you did that? That energy of the child of like, it's almost like Christmas morning. Ooh, what energies can I play with today? Rather than, oh, okay, it's Monday. I got to drive to my job at 9, and they may or may lay me off today. I don't know. What would your day look like? What would your creation look like? And for some of us, that's, oh gosh, I don't even know. And how cool is that? Because you're not going to a preconceived notion about what needs to happen when you're doing it. I love that I think one of the first classes I had with Dane, he was talking about him and Gary. When he first started working with Gary, he really didn't have a whole lot of money, and he was being a waiter by night, and then trying to be a chiropractor during the day. And he had this tiny little office, and money was just not, coming in the way that he thought. But he said, you know what? I was in the energy of being willing to do whatever it takes. And then Gary started to open up his energies so that he could start to see possibility. And they got to where they were coming from this class, and they went to go get on the plane, and they said, oh, we're just, because we can create all this magic, we're going to fly first class. We're just going to make that happen. Well, what happened? They went to the desk, nothing. They couldn't get them on. No, we can't put you in. It was, the answer kept being no. And they were like, well, what the hell? We've been doing all this energy work. Surely we could make that happen. Well, what did they do? They went to significance about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they went, oh, we're making this significant that it has to actually be a first class seat in order to receive the energies of first class, receive the energies of this. So anyway, they just went back to the energy part of it. They got on the plane. They ended up getting actually things from that. They talked up the stewardess, and because she really liked them, and she thought Dane was like an actor or something, she kept bringing them back like drinks, and so they got the first class service, and they got the energy of first class without, making it significant that they actually had to be in first class to get that energy, receive that energy. Yeah. So where are we doing that in our own lives of significance or definition about anything really? How a day needs to show up.
How about making everything significant? And that's good. I'm glad you said that, because that shifted something in me of an awareness of knowing when I'm making something significant and not needing to.
Right. Yeah, and again, it's the slightest little tweak. It's if you got the energy of them saying like, and I remember him sharing this, like, we're gonna make it happen. Like when I say I'm gonna make it happen, does it feel light to me?
No.
Like that puts me back on the mountain where I'm pushing the boulder up the hill. Like I'm gonna make this happen. Well, does anything really cool that you desire come from that energy?
No.
Again, it's an energy. It's an energy. And then you can be the space and consciousness to receive it and the vulnerability to receive it.
Yeah.
So if we simplify it down to everything's energy, I'm a certain energy, I'm asking for these energies to come in, then the only thing that we would have to shift is where we're not lining up to the energies of what we're asking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so simple. So let's think of maybe 100 more steps we can add on to that, because, this reality has these rules and everything that we have to retire. That, what the hell is retirement anyway? Is anybody really ever truly retiring? I don't think I would, but that's just my interesting point of view or awareness,
Well, when they say energy, space, and consciousness, so now I get the energy part of it, but how about the space and consciousness that they did in order to get that seat on the airplane, or that energy? Because I'm not, I understand it's like going from time, dimension, reality, and matter.
Like going to an acoustical world, almost like the notes of a music, from electrical world, which is what we're in. We're kind of moving out of that, but we still have to deal with some of that vis-a-vis the IRS, et cetera, our banking system. God, I just said that and all the heaviness of the world came in. But we're talking here about energies. The space is the vulnerability that you can go to receive. Space is the possibilities, the endless possibilities. The consciousness is what you decide to be in order to really choose that energy. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, say what consciousness is again?
The consciousness is what you choose to be in order to just receive what you're asking for.
Got it.
Or be aware of where you're not lining up to those energies. So the space is really the space that you be to allow the possibilities in.
And then
what happens a lot of times when we start to do this, especially the access tools and work, because they're very quick and they're very expansive. We'll go to this space, and because we're used to that space being filled up with all kinds of what I would like to call poo-pie stuff. It's whatever you want to define that as. I have to walk through this problem in order to get this thing on the other side. I have to push against this person in order to choose me. These are just some examples of that.
Yeah.
I have to. We don't get that our beautiful core, pure energy that we came in this lifetime in is the possibility. It's already there. Like, we're naturally that, and this reality has kind of like eked that out of us to make us think that we're not. We're naturally all that. We naturally have the vulnerability to receive. Then we naturally have a magic. We naturally have whatever it is that makes us just an infinite being. Like, so just even in the word infinite, what does that mean to you? Infinite.
Never ending.
Yeah, so that's the case. It's never ending.
Expansive.
Yeah, so if that's the amount of possibility that we have in our lives, then why would you want to choose somebody cut me off on the freeway, so I'm going to spend a few hours being pissed off now?
Yeah. Right.
It's kind of like, why would you spend we do, because we've been taught that we're not the beautiful beings that we are, that we're not the infinite beings that we are, that we're not the brilliant magic, on and on and on and on. I could add more words, but you get what I'm saying. So I want to applaud you all for catching yourself this week of going to that poo pie place. I love that, and I shared this earlier, I love that Corey Michelle says, can you make a peach pie or an apple pie with a poo pie? If you're starting out with a poo pie, can you make it into an apple pie?
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of makes the point, right? It's like, no, you really can't. And if you do, you try, then it's not really going to taste very good. And what if I just make an apple pie?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking you, what if you just go make an apple pie? What if any of this other crap that can show up literally, like that we define as crap or whatever, is simply showing us where our life is not congruent with the energies we're asking for? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, universe, for showing me that. I'm going to make the apple pie now.
Right.
Because I don't really want to mix my apples in with the poo and try to make a whatever pie. That would not be good. It might look like chocolate, but I don't think it's going to taste like chocolate. So,
no.
And that's where this reality can trip us up. We probably think it's chocolate, and then we take a nice big bite out of it, and it's like, ugh, no, I don't think so. Okay, I'm just going to go make an apple pie now. Yeah. So where could you be the energy, space, and consciousness of everything if you're an infinite being?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And what else is possible that I haven't even been able to fathom yet? Because there's a lot, I guarantee you, there's a lot we haven't fathomed that we could, that's possible.
Yeah.
And where could magic show up in my life today? And where could I receive it? And so that's why this call is more about just actually being able to ask for what you're, receive what you're asked. That's weird. I'm getting like it's reversing itself. So whatever that is, ask to receive what you're asking for.
Right.
And that, for some people that might kick something up. Are you willing to ask for any possibility within the energies of what you would like your life to be?
Right.
Does that help with?
Yeah.
You should your bitches out there. I'm talking to myself too, by the way. Yeah. So, any further questions on that?
Well, I didn't really understand the distinction between energy and consciousness. I know
Well, consciousness is basically choosing to be aware. And then the energies are what we be. The energies is who we are. The energies is, as infinite beings, we are many, many energies. And we've been energies going in and out of bodies in many, many lifetimes. So, does that help you?
yes.
Okay. So yeah, the energies are just really who we be. And then there's also energies that we can call in, if we want the 200 steps. Or we could keep it simple and really just look at the energies we would like our life to be.
I'm going to try not to make any of that significant.
Okay. But, Christine, your friend might have a different point of view about that.
Not me.
And, who made any and all these rules, and are they not just crazy? Like, this reality is crazy. I'm sorry. The rules of this reality are just nuts.
Yeah.
Well, we created them so we can destroy and uncreate them.
Oh, we can. And that's why we're here. Let's do it. Let's
agree
blow
with
that
that.
shit up.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what possibilities could be there then? Like, if we live in a world of endless possibilities, and, I just witnessed that somebody had ended their life yesterday in this reality, like, what could we choose? And what do we, where are we burning daylight?
Yeah.
So, does that help?
Yeah, that's good.
So the other question I think I started to say was, where can I receive more of me today?
Right.
And I know I have days where I'm like, I don't really want to be receiving more of me today. It's all good. I'm just kind of tired of me. Me could be a little bit overrated today, but so it's all just an interesting point of view. So what if everything's just an interesting point of view? And if I wasn't defining vulnerable as whatever I'm defining vulnerable as, what could I choose and create? So I think most of you seem to be in the energy that vulnerability is possibility. Is there anybody that is not, that has a question about it? Okay. And where have I been vulnerable in the past? And what did it create? Now, we don't normally go too far in the past because, as I like to say, when we keep going to our past, we keep going that as a set of parameters and significances that could stop whatever energies we might be calling in. And we just keep recreating the same thing over and over again. But in this case, like, you could look at where you've been vulnerable in the past, and maybe magic has shown up. And it's just an acknowledgement of anywhere in your life that magic has shown up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have to say that magic would show up every day for you, because you are magic to begin with. That is the energies that we come in as. Whether we're in this electrical reality or not, we be magic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I feel like at this point.
Unknowingly sometimes.
What's that?
Unknowingly sometimes.
Yeah, knowingly. What if you could know it all the time?
That's what I want to play with.
Yeah. So don't do that. That would be maybe too much fun. I wouldn't want you to have too much fun.
Oh, I'm just starting to get the whole fun thing.
Cool.
I am just starting to really perceive the playing with the energies since the Friday, since that big beyond aha moment that I had on Friday. Those kinds of things have opened up. I didn't know, I know I haven't been having fun for a very long time. And like Annette said, she recognized that too, but I recognize it too. I've been too serious, probably most of my life. And now, every day, I'm asking, how can I have fun with this? I choose something I want my life to be, and how can I have fun with this? Or when I'm at work and things get
Poop-ish.
huh?
Poop-ish.
Yeah. Yes, or stressful or whatever. I'm starting to ask myself, how can I have fun with this? And you know what? It's starting to be fun.
Imagine that. You're asking and you're receiving. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God, the universe, my big realization on Friday morning, and it must have been a point of vulnerability. I was thinking about it, something that I was being vulnerable in the moment without being aware that I was being vulnerable in the moment. And
those are the best.
And I saw that I have received from the universe everything I've asked for. My life as it currently is exactly what I've asked for. So I can stop fighting with that now.
Yeah.
That I didn't ask for it, because I bloody well did.
Yeah, because does Wonder Woman really fight, or does she just go kick some butt and expect it to go her way?
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what something like that can open up. I mean, whoa.
Yeah. Say, what if, so this whole joy thing, because, just about everything follows joy. Money follows joy, opportunity follows joy, you name it, you put that word in, it all follows joy, and yet we've been taught the opposite. And that's not to say, like, we probably did have to be serious about certain things, or did we? And, what if that's just showing us a different energy? Now we know we can just choose joy in everything, however it shows up.
And maybe we don't have to be serious about stuff, just aware and conscious.
Yeah. And I know Gary said that about it. That's how he raised his kids. I don't know if you've heard that story. Like, he talks about people saying, there's the control method of parenting, and he said no, it's if you control them, then they're going to want, eventually eventually kids rebel somewhat anyway, but he said his never really did, because he parented them to be aware. And he said awareness is the biggest gift that you can give your children.
Yeah.
So if you could be your own child,
Cool.
give yourself the awareness. Because a lot of the energies that can come up and block it is sometimes it's child energy, it's stuff that we might have locked in about different things that have happened. And when we can release that from our being in our body, then we can actually receive all that we're asking for. And what if we didn't have to know what any of that was? We could just choose to release it.
Yeah, right.
We don't have to go to the problem. We don't have to go further in. We don't have to tap in and see, I was joking last week about being grounded and doing all that stuff. It's whatever works for you. It's just being aware of what works for you might not work for the next person, but hey, today I'm choosing joy. And for me, joy today would be blah, whatever that is for you.
Yeah.
So do you want to share more about your ahas? Oh, sorry.
Well, I think I've shared the essence of it. It was such an amazing experience because it just infused my whole body. It wasn't just an intellectual awareness. It filled my whole body, and chills and chills and chills, and I'm still getting them today. Not so much as that day, but just the whole. I don't want to use the word feeling, but
you can. Yeah, don't worry about that.
The experience was a oneness of being, body, and awareness of what I have received, and some of it, why, what it was I asked for that has created the reality I'm living in right now. So, and then with that awareness comes, goodness, if I can create this, what else can I create? And do I want something different now? What do I want my life to be? Now that I see what I've created, really see that, what else is possible? I've been asking that a lot ever since Friday morning. What else is possible? Universe, show me what is possible. Universe, show me what works for me. What is the energy of what works for me? Show me what works for me. Show me what are the possibilities. Show me ways I can go. A lot more. And that was another part of that experience was beginning to see how much questions really do open things up.
Yeah.
Finding things coming up, to cut that, like statements like this is so, judgments and so on and so forth, and saying, no, that's not a question. What the fuck is not a question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's challenging to try to describe that, but it went all the way through. If that can make any way, all the way through, heart, piercing heart, holy cow. Ooh, I can still feel a little of that. It was just incredible and totally unexpected. I was on my way to work. I was between the kitchen and the door, on my way out the door to work, and wham, it was just there. Wow. Now, it's probably been there all the time. I just was not open to it.
Yeah.
So when I think back on it in a certain way, there had to be a vulnerability there to receive it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Are you willing to receive the totality of the magic that you are?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when magic started showing up. Holy cow.
That is the energy. You gave it the space. You were vulnerable to let it come in. And then you were conscious of it now. So there's that energy, space, and consciousness. How cool is that?
Mega cool.
Mega, mega, mega cool. I like it. So where could that be exponentialized?
everywhere.
Receive whatever. Yeah. Because now you're not, I don't hear you saying it has to show up. Why isn't it showing up? You know, when you had a little bit of the energy when we first started of like, why is this not showing up? I've done this work and da 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 da. And now it's like, that's all it is. That's that small tweak of just barriers down, and receive. So what could we receive tonight? And if you haven't done barriers down, if the energy speaks to you, then just barriers down, barriers down, barriers down.
Barriers down, barriers down, barriers down.
Yeah. And then that was the other question we were going to, is what magic lies in me being vulnerable? You know, because when we're aware, even though if whatever we talked about in the beginning, like in other lifetimes, we probably were killed for being so-called vulnerable. The definition of vulnerable has changed. I meant to have my I've got one of those old dictionaries. I meant to have it down here, but I'll send that out. And what I send out, and what if we bastardized the definition of vulnerable to be that it's not? I don't think that's for everybody, because it seems like most of you were like, oh, vulnerable is actually kind of exciting.
Oh, no. I even looked up the Latin definition, and it was the wound. It was wounding.
Well, and
so
then
I went down the rabbit hole.
what does wound mean to you?
Well, it means someone's going to hurt you, like you let down the barriers to vulnerability, and that you're going to get hammered or cut.
And truth, what does it actually mean?
Well, I mean, I know what I'm supposed to say, but
it's okay. We're not being politically correct on any of this, so don't worry about the languaging. Yeah, just say what.
I guess it just really comes down to, I do feel that I have to keep my barriers up and still stay somewhat in the time dimension, you know, reality and matter, so that I don't totally screw myself. I don't know. So I don't feel like I can be totally vulnerable even to this stuff. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just like, I just feel like I might stop paying my bills and just start going to $3,000, you know, seminars instead, you know.
But yeah, you better not though.
I know.
So, okay, there's a lot of aspects to that. I'm just going to try to start with the first thing that comes in there, because there's layers to that, right?
Yes.
There's a certain energy of that. So what are you defining as possibility for you?
Yeah, I guess I don't.
So there's an aspect of the wound part of this and possibility. So, okay. So where does possibility mean that you'll be wounded?
Yeah.
Yeah, and is that true?
Yeah, I guess that's where my fear comes up, is whether it's true or not. I have fear. I guess it's a distractor or something, but yeah, I kind of feel like all possibilities, some might really not be a good choice.
Yeah, it's not, because it's magic that you already are. I'm being smart. So let's look at that.
Carol, can I ask a question that is around this?
Yeah, sure.
Something comes to my mind as well.
Okay.
An aspect of vulnerability, when you're totally open, there could be a fear there that if you are totally open, you could receive something that's not beneficial to you. Like if you're totally open to have, sex, would you draw, for instance, a pervert of some kind? If you were, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That there is that aspect to, that I've felt before about being totally vulnerable. Yeah, you might draw the bum that buys you a cup of coffee, but you might draw the bum that's a serial killer. So that there is that aspect of the vulnerability that I think that she may be.
Yeah, it's almost like a definition of that in the possibility realm too. It's like there is the possibility that I'll draw this. I'll draw the narcissist or the serial killer, or the this or the that. So are you? Oh, it's all coming in too fast. Hold on.
Okay.
Are you? So, okay. This is coming from, and I know that you've listened to the abuse CD. Let's just so what I'm going to do is, since I'm a simplicity girl, if you're so willing, are you willing to have me just grab all those energies and release them for you?
Yeah. Yes.
Truth?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Because what I've been finding in the energy healing lately, it's probably been over the last 6 months to a year, is that a lot of times, I know we're talking a lot on this, is that as an energy healer, I find that if I can just go in and grab the energies that don't feel congruent with what you're asking your life to be, and it might be different for everybody. For me right now, it kind of comes in as colors, and then I just shift them. I go in and shift them. I don't go too much into the question with the person, because that puts them into almost going into that rabbit hole.
Right.
Like it puts them into that mindset of, oh, I got to think about the abuse, and I got to, and a lot of times if you start that, then they'll call it back in. You could clear it, and then they'll call it back in all day long.
Right.
So let me just do this real quick.
Okay.
Because it's going to send you to the place that is never going to make cognitive sense. You could never really rationalize somebody being a serial killer or any of that. You can never rationalize that, right? But for some reason in this reality, that's where we've been taught to go about everything. Well, let's rationalize it. Well, no, it's just an energy. And can I be the space to receive all that I'm asking for as energies? And where can I do an energy match with what I'm asking for? And then if I'm aware and conscious, can anybody really ever truly hurt me if I'm aware and conscious?
No.
I'm using awareness and consciousness. So what I would say for everybody on this call, because I remind myself as well daily, universe, where can we heighten my awareness today about everything?
Ooh, I
Where
love
can I
that.
heighten my awareness about everything? Because I have a certain level of awareness that I go, oh yeah, I get that somebody's going to turn left and blah, 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 and I'm usually thinking 10 steps ahead and blah, blah, blah. But where could I really have awareness about just this person? So if you're going to the coffee shop, if you're willing to just acknowledge that there's going to be lots of different energies in there, right?
Yep.
But if we come from the place of knowing everything is going back to the simplicity of everything's energy, and what's showing up in my life is matching all the energies that I am and what I'm asking my life to be, then is the serial killer going to show up and stay there? No. Or is he just giving you, or he or she giving you awareness of something? If we can ask the question about the person, is this person going to kill me? Is this, you can ask whatever question that is. Recently I hired this guy from Tackle, which is that app that you can get, all your honey-do list stuff done. And he came to trim down some of my bushes. And I think he must have had Tourette's or something like that. And he didn't have any electrical equipment. So he brought these shears and he came out and I've got, if you've ever seen my backyard, I've got a lot of stuff that he's cutting down. And I'm thinking, this is going to take this poor guy a month. But my awareness, I asked the question, should I give him my equipment? And I got a big no. And I thought, okay, so what else is possible here? And then I got, just give him a space. But he was out there he didn't like one of my dogs. He liked the other dog. So he would go to that, fuck you, blah, blah, get out of here, to the one dog. And then he would love the other dog. So I'm asking that sends me to ask a lot of questions, right? I could have gone to the assumption of, well, he seems a little crazy. I better just let him go. Maybe this guy can't do the yard because he had he was having to do it by hand. But I kept asking what else is possible. And what I got was, even though it didn't show up any way that I thought, it was a contribution to him, because beneath the outer exterior of what he was kind of acting like, I got that he would actually do a really good job. And it would be a contribution, and he was coming from a heart-centered space. And that's the energy that I had been asking to show up. People in a heart-centered space. Now, did it show up the way that I thought? Hell no. What did I start to go to that? What the fuck? But then my logical brain kicked in and said, well, it's coming through Tackle. They have to do a background check and all that stuff. So if he was a serial killer or wanted to kill us all in our sleep or something like that, because he did have some pretty big shears. But I let him do his thing. He offered to come back the next day and finish it up. I let him. Then the second day, he was 10 times faster. I think he just needed to kind of get a lay of the land and kind of get used to everything and, used to me and everything. And he flew right through it. So sometimes things will show up in life that way, that it's all just an interesting point of view. If I had made anything significant, I wouldn't have gotten my bushes trimmed. I would have had to probably give him, I would have maybe given him not a great rating. But he actually did an amazing job. So where do we do that in life? Okay, well, the Maserati came in blue rather than red. And I was really asking for the red Maserati. So, but it's blue. So we better, no universe.
Well,
again, can you make an apple pie out of a poo pie?
Oh.
No.
No.
Yeah, because those poo pies, I don't know, they're smelly. I don't want to be having those in my house. So,
hey, Carol, I have a question about vulnerability. What comes up for me is weakness. So, because when I'm vulnerable, I feel weak and not in my power.
Well, you are.
Well, do you have any insight on that, or any questions I can ask around that, or what?
It's really about owning your power, and not in a superior way, but just the energy of what you would define your power as. So you, Melody, as an infinite being, what are your energies? What are the energies of you that you would quantify right now?
Oh, the energies of me?
Yeah.
I mean, kindness and love, and I have power as one of my energies. So, yeah, I have a lot of fire. I don't know, fun. The question's kind of messing me up.
Well, maybe that's what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
I'm trying to get you out of your head about it, and trying to get you out of, well, I better define it as this.
Right.
And you said something about fire. So do you need to burn through everything in order to receive what you like, or can you just ask for it?
And just ask for it. Okay.
Yeah, just ask for it. And what if, even though you're it seems energetically like you're still putting, and this isn't to make any wrongness or whatever, it's just awareness.
Yeah.
Something, you're still kind of putting all these energies outside of you rather than playing in the embodiment of them.
Okay.
So universe, some great questions is, hey, universe, where could I be magic today? Whatever is on your list. And if you guys want to share those on the Facebook page, be welcome to. Sometimes it helps to spur ideas for others, or, you can share where you are. And so let's say that one of the words on your list is magic. Hey, universe, show me where I'm being magic today. Show me where I could be more of magic today. What are the oh, sorry. Hold on. Didn't realize I did not down my phone. Anyhow.
Okay.
So, like,
that would take me out.
Yeah.
In my energy, what you're saying is it would take me out of my weakness and allow me to be more vulnerable if I'm in those energies.
Yeah, where could you kind of embody them? Where could you soak them up? Like sun rays on your skin? Where could you really just know that you're already that? It's nothing outside of that you're trying to get. It's what you're embodying in your body with it.
Okay.
And if you're taking them out to dance and play with them every morning or every night, whatever that is for you, then, what else is possible? What's the possibility here that I might not be seeing? What's the beauty of me that I might not be seeing? It's the magic I might not be seeing. Universe, what would it be like to be magic today?
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And none of those questions are asking for anything that's outside of you. These are all things that you actually be. You might have been hiding them. You might have been squelching them. You might have said in your head, oh, I'm not really magic, therefore, blah, 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 blah. It's nothing outside of you that you have to get. Again, there's nothing that you have to push against. There's no poo pies that you have to eat.
Okay.
It's all what you innately came into this lifetime as the pure essence and energy of you.
Got it. Okay. That helps. Thanks.
And wherever you're defining that as something outside of you that you need to get or whatever, and bastardizing that definition of receiving, would you willing to drop it now?
Yes.
Okay. Release. 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 Cool.
Yeah, that feels good.
Much better?
Okay. Yes, much better. Thank you.
So, any other questions?
Can you paraphrase that again with her as far as, so just being your own energy is enough to receive? Is that basically
so just
it?
being your own energy is really enough. We came in a pure, never-ending energy that's infinite. How many possibilities do we have? Infinite. We've spent many lifetimes being told the opposite.
Right.
We gotta, and in a lot of previous lifetimes, it was, I gotta poison my brother who might be king so that I can be king, or we gotta push against this kingdom or that king. Every story from history probably has some kind of push against. You gotta have the little oyster in the shell that makes the pearl. You gotta have that we've been taught that we have to have that rough energy sand to buff us into this thing where we can finally receive what we're asking for. Well, fuck that shit. We're already there. We came in that way. That's the biggest lie.
Yeah.
So where can I receive me today? I think that was one of the questions.
Where can I receive more of me today?
Where can I receive more of me today? I would ask that question, Melody and Christine, and pretty much everybody here, if it speaks to you, where could I be more of me today? Because what is that asking the universe? Where could I be more of those energies that I would like my life to be? Where could I be more magic that I truly be?
That's good.
Because anything that's not showing you that that's kind of coming up has the energy that you're not magic is just a fucking lie.
Ha.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and almost not also asking the universe, where can I be more of me and be aware of it? You know what I mean? It's almost like, okay, the energy comes in and then the space and then the awareness of me. Because I could be more of me but not notice it. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Or
yeah, exactly. You have to ask for that too. Where can I be more aware today? Where could I sharpen my awareness today? I still ask that, I don't know how many times a day. Because I mean, we're all pretty psychic. We all get a lot of information. But that almost like simplifies it to a space of just you. You're not talking about what point of view your friends have. You're not talking about what point of view this reality has. You're not talking about all the lies that we've been told for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. You're simply going to the beauty that you be already. And the lie is that we have to look at something outside of ourselves or get this over here. That's that causal reality thing that we can get tripped up with. That if I do A and then add B, then I'll get C. That is the fucking lie of all. No. How about if I just choose C now? Let's skip A and B. I'm just going to choose C. I'm going to choose the apple pie. I really don't want to go to poo pie number 1 and poo pie number 2, thinking I'll get an apple pie if I add them together. Because does that really happen? No. What if you already are the apple pie?
Yeah, that's good.
What if you already are the apple pie? And everything else is just fuck that shit.
So as I'm more of me, I won't feel weak when I'm vulnerable. I'll feel strong.
Yeah. When you're choosing you and showing up in the totality and the power of you, not from I've got to move, I'm going to make it happen, but from a space of just, hey, this is who I am. Where could we have some fun?
Yeah. This is good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that help, Christine?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So any other questions around that?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we've got what, four people on? We might not go 2 hours tonight. We might just go an hour and a half, but let's see where the energy takes us.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions at this point from what we've talked about? Okay, cool. If I could truly receive all, or if I could receive all that I truly have asked for today, what could show up?
Woo!
Did you guys ask that question?
Oh, yes.
What happened? Did your light blow up? Did you have to eat a poo pie? What happened?
Oh, no. No. None of that. What I got was, what could show up? More awareness, more vulnerability, more magic.
I love it.
Me too.
Yay! And what else is possible? And what else is possible beyond that? And what's next? We kind of, because we've been transitioned into this causal reality of A plus B equals C, which isn't true. This is where we could stop ourselves, because so you could have received all that on Friday night and Saturday and whatever and still be receiving it, and then it's like, oh, that's good because I got everything I've asked for, and then stop asking questions, right? That could be a choice. Or you could just keep asking questions and keep opening up energies. It's kind of like, it's almost like blowing the air into the bubble and just going with the small bubble. Or could you blow it up into a really big bubble? And then it might pop and like go into another bubble of whatever possibilities that are, that you haven't even fathomed yet.
Unimaginable possibilities.
Unimaginable futures. And it doesn't have to be the future that's out here as a beyond, which is kind of where we put ourselves when we say, oh, I got to do A plus B equals C. Well, when we choose beyond, those poo pie energies that show up. So whenever those poo pie energies show up, just think, and this might even help you get through it even faster. Do I need to eat this poo pie, or should I just make an apple pie now?
Yeah.
What is it that you choose? So have we cleared what feels to be the definition of vulnerability and possibility for anybody where they might be stopping themselves there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else coming up for anybody around that?
No,
No.
I'm good.
Feels very light.
Cool. So what could you choose in the coming week that could be beyond anywhere where you've ever fathomed?
Questions.
Questions, yeah. Possibilities. And then if the poo pies show up, don't eat them. Just saying. It's not fun. Just don't eat the poo pie. So
what I get is don't have an expectation or a judgment of how it shows up. And
yes.
The awareness, asking the question, show me when it shows up, kind of like Chris was saying, and the awareness of, oh, this is what I've asked for. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days for it to get it. I'd like for it to be a little faster and go,
Well, define fast.
Oh, instantly, when, I asked for this, I got that. And this is a crazy one, but I said when I was coming to Chris's tonight, I'm going to be late. And guess what? I was late. I was like, yep, I just made that happen. So,
yeah. I always say, what if I could arrive at the perfect time?
Yeah.
Does that put a significance on the actual hour? Or what if you just always could arrive at the perfect time?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to avoid
What if the answer to your question could just come in the perfect time?
Yeah.
What if your awareness could come in the perfect time? What if it didn't have to be, I got to have it right now? What if you already need that right now, but because you put in a significance that it has to be right now?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Because
what's
that?
We make a lot of stress. I just realized we make a lot of angst and a lot of stress for ourselves because we make things like being on time and stuff like that significant.
Yeah, and time is our invention, folks. So if we invented it, can we bend it? Can we fold it? Can we manipulate it? Can we do whatever the hell we want to with it?
I think we can. I'm not sure I am to the point where I know how to do that yet, but
or are you?
Well, maybe because it came up, I am. I just have to be a little vulnerable to receive that energy.
There you go. So what kind of magic do you all have with time that you could play with over the coming week, or maybe the whole lifetime?
That's good. I like that.
Not from a significance. So you know that small tweak there. I think we all get the small tweak of that. Not from the significance that I have to be there at 1 o'clock. Like, I don't ever go to that space. I just say, hey, what would it take for me to get there at the perfect time?
Right.
And for me, like this past week, because I've been doing a lot of lunches and coffees and stuff with people, when I don't make it about the actual time that I get there, even if I'm running behind, what I would define as running behind, but are we really ever running behind? Or are we just in a different space? And can we choose the energy, space, and consciousness of being the energy of where we're going?
Oh my God.
So don't play with that. So if we could be the energy of where we're going time-wise, could we be the energy of where we're going with whatever we're asking for?
Yeah, that's what I would.
You can make that time jump there of like choosing beyond. I'm going to be the energy of what I'm actually asking for and that I already have it, and then I, play in the joy of having it.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
And what could show up then rather than saying, oh, I got to push against all these fuckers. And then I could choose, and then I'll eat a little poo pie along the way. And then, or can I just choose it? Can I just be it? Where could I be? Where could I do an energy match with blank?
It's good.
Mind's blown.
Well, I get that, but then sometimes things like my fucking printer still won't work. It's like, how do you get technology to actually agree with this?
I don't know. How do you get something outside of yourself to do it, or could you just choose it? Could you just be the energy of it? Could you ask for the energy, space, and time? Could you ask for your printer to match the energy of what you're asking for?
Well, I didn't use the exact words, but I felt like, I guess I said, what can I be in order for my printer to work and to print out these manuals? I don't know. I mean, I probably got it to print, and then of course it lost ink in the middle of it, and then it's like, and I don't even know how I got it to work. But then now I've got to go back and figure out how to make it work again. It's just crazy.
So what if you didn't have to figure anything out?
Yeah.
And what if you could just ask for it to match the energies that you would like your life to be, and make sure that you've got that down? Like, I want technology just to be easy. I want it to just happen. And where are you making it significant that you have to like bitch slap it in order for it to do something? And is that going outside of yourself rather than choosing totality and the beauty and the magic of you? If you're magic, then call it in. Work at the printer, match your magic.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes if I wait a couple days and I calm down, then things are better, and then I can get into my magic. I think it's just like, yeah.
So did Wonder Woman wait a couple days before kicking everybody's ass, or did she just go in and kick ass?
Well, I could do what Wonder Woman does easier than get my printer to work. That's it. I don't know why it is with technology, but I'm serious though. I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but it's like I don't know.
We are being very, very serious about this.
I know, because this is serious business.
Because that's what is required for your printer to fucking print.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna use. What Wonder Woman would do to this printer? She'd throw it across the room. It's just like no. But
yeah, I mean, watching Office Space, have you?
Oh, that's right.
Fix the printer. They take a sledgehammer to the printer or the fax machine or something. So where are you letting your printer stop you?
Yeah, because the whole point is that I'm having that bars class that I'm teaching on Sunday, and so it's all about the significance of printing out the manuals. So that may be, it's just that I don't have enough cash right now to go to Kinko's and just have them print it for me. So it's like I only have one alternative, and it's this printer. And
well, those don't sound like questions.
Yeah.
You might know somebody that might have some manuals you could use.
Yeah, okay.
Just saying. But yeah, so what questions can you ask there? What energies can
yeah.
Yeah. So are you eating the printer poo pie?
Yes. And now I totally get it. Because it's really not about, because I've been
not about the printer.
Towards the printer, but it's not the printer.
Yeah, it's not about the printer. Where can you be vulnerable enough to receive the prints?
Right.
And that could be PRINTS, that could be PRINCE. Where could you be vulnerable to receive the prints? And not make it significant that there's this fucking class that I'm teaching, and I gotta, it's when we go to the poo pie or the I gottas, or it's got, we're always talking about things outside of ourselves that aren't working.
Yeah.
Where are we not being the energy of what we're asking for? That's not to make a wrongness of that. It's just a tiny little, it's always a tiny little tweak, I'm telling you. It's always a tiny little tweak. I remember I was having all these, my computer was doing really slow and all this stuff, and I would put my hands on it and say, where can we just frequency match our energies so that we could be the space of speed and the speed of space?
Mm-hmm.
So where...
and I think... Go ahead.
So where are you maybe solidifying something that doesn't, where are you like putting the poo pie in the oven and cooking it a little bit, where it just, just choose the apple pie. And the apple pie can come to you in whatever way it's going to come to you. Somebody could bring you an apple pie. You could go to the store and buy an apple pie. You could go to a restaurant and get an apple pie. There's endless possibilities for apple pie. If you would like to ask a question of how that could show up.
Yeah, no, I love that, because that's what helped me when I was doing that talk the other day. And once again, I was having issues with the technology, and you said, stop making it significant and just know that if the technology doesn't work, then that means that you're not supposed to have the technology and you're supposed to talk about something else. And then, of course, once I let go of the significance, I was able to have the technology. And so it's really the same with this, letting go of the significance of the manual and just asking a question of how can I have the manuals appear in the perfect timing. It lets go of the significance of this technology. And then now it's not that I feel I'm so in love with my printer now.
There you go.
It just feels different. Totally. It's that significant thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if you find yourself going into that fucking, whenever we're looking at the poop pie and making it that we have to eat it or making it real, it's like throw out the 1, 2, 3 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, what molecule in the future can I turn the polarity of to change this? Is that about the printer? Or is that about just shifting your molecules in order for you to receive it? That's why we were talking about going to that vulnerable, but I feel like we've shifted that for you as far as like the definition of vulnerability and possibility. So the good thing is you caught it. You were going outside of yourself. Whenever we're going, oh, my fucking manager did this, or my printer's doing that, or this person said this, or it's not about any of those things. It's always about where am I not willing to receive the totality and the magic that I be. Always. Wow. And where are you like burning daylight on that? Like where you could just choose beyond it of the magic that you already are. Because we're already all those things. We are already. There's nothing that we have to get. There's nothing. If we are infinite energy beings and we can tap into anything at any time and we've been and done everything, then are we potent fucking beings? Or should we look at what everybody else is doing and, let's make it about, I forgot what wasn't working for me the other day. But the funny thing for me is my printer goes on and off of working and not working. And when I don't really even think it's going to work, it always works.
Yeah.
And I don't make it a big deal. It's like, oh, I hope this prints. And if not, then I'll just plan B, whatever that is. But does that make sense?
Yeah.
In an energetic perspective?
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, that helps a lot with the whole possibility. Because I almost, to be honest, I'm such a doer in some ways that it's like, oh, if I have a possibility, I have to go do it. And then I get stressed out and like I want to do it. Part of me does, but then things like the printer happens and stuff. Then I make significant all the things I have to do to make it happen. And then it just kind of makes everything a poop pie instead of fun.
Yeah. So where could you just go straight to fun and straight to apple pie? And what if you are the manual? Yeah, that gets printed like I just think of it as like I used to put on these massive dinner parties and I would have to have every little thing just so, and like barely anybody ever recognized all the teeny tiny little things that I would do. And I just thought, wow, where am I making that more significant than, and I wouldn't have fun. Like I would invite all these people to my house and then I would not have fun because I'd be stressing over this, and this. And it's like, when you can show up in the totality and the energy that you be and know that you are the manual, what else is possible?
Yeah.
What contribution
well, and that
can you be, what contribution can people be to you? And where does that expand the kingdom of we further than I got to print these fucking manuals out?
Yeah. Because I was almost resenting possibilities. I was like, instead of possibilities being more fun, it was like, oh my God, So, I mean, I don't have to go back there, but that makes the possibilities more fun when I completely get out of that rigidness. Like each time, like things have to be a certain way. That's good.
Yeah. So when you were running the other morning, were you going to, I have to run a certain way, I have to do this certain way, or were you just in a space?
Oh, I was totally in space.
Yeah. So think of that, like, just go run.
Yeah.
Be the space.
Run, Chris, run.
Run, Chris, run. Run, Chris, run.
Well, yeah, if you think about Forrest Gump, he was like, I don't know, I'm just running until I'm not, you know?
Yeah, I mean, life is that simple, I promise you. And he was a bazillionaire after a time because he was just fishing because he had that guy that was always talking about shrimp, you know?
Yeah.
What if,
You know, it's
like, what if that's it? It's like, it is that simple. And it just, he wasn't going to go make it happen. He was just kind of like, yeah, all right, I'm going to run until I'm not running anymore. I'm going to go have all these fishing boats until I'm not anymore.
yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I rode my bicycle from Boston to San Francisco one summer, and I was going over the Adirondacks, and I was wishing a car would hit me so I could go home honorably. So it's not like I had this, I did push it. You know what I mean? So it's funny, the different energy. By the end of the trip, I was much better, more in the Forrest Gump thing, but that was before Forrest Gump movie. But it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, and where have we defined as, what have we defined as Forrest Gump? That's really just possibility.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other questions on that? All right. Share. Thanks, guys, ladies. What else is possible now? I kind of feel like we're at a close energy unless anybody has any other questions.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I think you all are great. And I can't wait to see what magic shows up for us next week. So, hold on a second here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. All righty, ladies. Big hugs and much love to you. I applaud you for choosing you. And where could you show up in your totality over the next week and have so much, like the family vacation where he said you're going to be having so much fucking fun, you're going to be singing zippity doo dah out of your asshole. And so don't have that much fun. No, anyway, have a great week and just reach out if you have any questions and we'll go from there. And I can't wait to see what week 5 has us doing.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, beauties.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yay.